Alright guys, so welcome back. This is just an update for what I've laid out on the previous videos. I was looking for this relative equal, this equals to be taken out. So we did on Thursday and further extend on Friday. Alright, so this was the continuous contract chart on the futures chart of the March 2023. We do have a better price action over here. Okay, so moving forward, I'm thinking I'm gonna use this chart because the thing is that it has this previous gaps, right, which is, I think, very nice reference points as compared to this, right? As you can see over here, there's not much data that I can use behind other than this dealing range over here. Okay, so I'm just going to use this as my higher time frame analysis, which is what I will be doing in this video. Okay, so the thing is that we closed below this swing lows. Right now we're in the balanced price range of this purple zone. Okay, and currently price is finding resistance in this gap. Okay, this weekend opening gap. So if price was to remain bearish, it's gonna not respect this gap moving down. Okay, if it trades up again, because I'm thinking that it might want to trade it up, right? Let's just take a measure. Maybe this order block here. So when it trades up to this area 50% and it breaks down again, this gap is not going to be respected. However, as you can see, it's finding some resistance in the short term. Okay, so what I'm really looking at is this daily volume imbalance. If this imbalance can hold with confluence of this order block over here, then maybe we can get a push up into this area, or maybe even this area here. But ultimately, I'm just going to remove that. Ultimately, I'm thinking this would be the first area where price would like to see some reaction, because this is the breaker prior to this, the last down close candle prior to this swing high, which took out the liquidities above. So coming back down, it lines up nicely with fair value gap and this breaker. However, the thing is that it's not above 50%. Okay, 50% is right at this order block over here. So if we were to just use the body, so let's say this is like a higher high, and after that we create this intermediate high, lower high, and in this case this breaker over here, this hold down candles, 1 2 3 4 5 down candles are the breakers, and above 50% it's still above this level over here, this order block. I mean, this is actually not an order block, but then again we do have a volume imbalance above, so I'm looking at that level as well, because this is the order block, the real order block. Okay, so above 50%, that would be this order block. So now I want to switch my line up to here, right? The opening of this two up close candles before the down move that took out the swing lows, and with the fair value gaps. Okay, so this is a fair value gap that I'll be looking at. Let's just should I highlight it? It's gonna be very messy if I do. Okay, let's just keep it open since it's quite big, and I'm looking at this opening gap as well. Might serve as some short-term resistance. Okay, so what we can see over here, if we use the swing highs, we do also have the three drives pattern: 1, 2, and 3. So usually this is the top. Okay, there's a very high chance that this could be the local top for this quarter, right? And moving on to the next, we will see some down moves. Okay, how low, I'm not too sure, right? I'm not gonna speculate low, but I'm looking for the next area where the price would like to draw to. Right now I don't see any, right? Because we do have this bullish order block over here, and on this candle here it's sort of respecting it in a way, so I wouldn't call it bearish yet unless we come up here and then we break down again. Then that's my confirmation. Okay, so right now I'm just waiting to see what happens on throughout the rest of December into January, right? I believe the move will appear in January. Okay, so moving on to the weekly chart, right? I'm just gonna do high time frame analysis, not gonna touch on lower time frames. So over here we close likewise, as I said, this opening weekend opening gap. Okay, so right now it's finding some resistance, and we do have this daily volume imbalance over here, fair value gap, right, which is now also acting as resistance. So this can be next week's objective. So let's say we close this week down, slightly down, then I think next week we will see a swing up into this area and then back down again. Okay, currently I'm looking at this weekly volume imbalance as a draw, and probably this swing low down here. Okay, maybe this rejection block might offer some sort of support. I'm not too sure, but only time will tell. So we do have a imbalance over here, small one, likewise to this, so I'll keep a lookout on that as well, right? It's at 3,965, right? If we go down 3,965, yep, lines up nicely with this order block here, so that could be an area of interest as well. Just gonna keep a lookout on that. And what else? On the monthly, oops, this should remain on the daily. Oops. Oh. Right. So on the monthly, we close back down this bearish fair value gap. Right. I'm gonna see how this month's close will be, and probably we will look to target this area here, 3,300 in January. I'm not too sure, but this could be the most likely drawn liquidity if this up candle is to be traded through, maybe in January. Okay, so if the December candle closes like this below this fair value gap, I'm looking forward to see January, right? We see the price come up into this area and maybe slightly above it, because it's in line with 3,965, just a few more points, and then after that it breaks down. That would be the most logical way, right? And on the quarterly chart, same thing, we're still over here, did not manage to close above this balanced price range. We only have about 2 more weeks to the end of this year, to the end of this quarter, right? So as long as we don't close above this balanced price range, I stand to remain bearish till this level down here, which is 3,237, and it might reach slightly lower as we do have equal lows on the daily as well. Okay, so this on a 3-month, this is the draw on liquidity right here. Okay, for longer, even longer time frames on the ES chart, because we do have more data over there, I'm looking at this down close candle here, right? The high of this candle is at 2009 and the opening is at 2006, right? This candle should serve as a strong, not strong, but a sensitive price point, which I would like to take note as well. Therefore, my overall target for this downtrend would be 2009, and it comes in confluence with what ICT has mentioned as well. 2009 is what he's looking at, so maybe it could offer some sensitivity over here, and then we reach out to take out this relative equal highs, but nope, not calling it. Maybe you have a sideways and then after that it goes up again. Okay, I'm not too sure, we'll see about that, right? Let's just keep this on the 12-month. Okay, let's look at ES monthly. Anything of interest, right? Similarly, do have same levels here. Okay, so right now I just want to do a brief run through of the seasonal tendencies. Okay, it's very important because we're heading into a new year. Okay, a new year and a new quarter as well. This is a important profile to understand. Okay, so right here from January, the first quarter, right, we have a downtrend, or should I say a slight consolidation. Downtrend overall, but slight consolidation up towards the end of March, and after which it dumped through. Okay, this is a trending market. Okay, and then after that in July onwards to September, it's a consolidation, and right now from October to December as well, still a consolidation. So in a way, the next quarter might set up for a downtrend. Okay, this is what I'm reading it to be, right? We could be in a continuous downtrend in the next quarter, or maybe we just consolidate around, right, until March, and then we see this trend move again. Because overall what I'm looking for is Q1, right? I'm looking for bearish SMTs like what you see over here in Q1. Okay, 2023. It may be in January, it may be in February, or it may even be in March. Okay, for that move I'm going to take a swing trade. Other than that, it's all intraday. Okay, intraday trades, right? Yeah, so swing trades and position tradings I'm looking for is SMT, high time frame SMT, right? I'm looking to short the market in 2023. Okay, to this relative equal lows down here on the month, on a weekly, if you can see, and then eventually I'm thinking this gap, okay, this balanced price range over here, right, this area, just this area over here. Okay, I'm looking for this to be taken out, right? So on daily, I just want to highlight something important. For every quarter reset, I always look back the previous quarter and see what has price done, because that's important for the narrative moving forward. Okay, so seasonal tendency wise, as you can see, if we just run back through what happened in 2022. So in January the market shifted lower, right? as seasonal tendencies should be playing out. January is a bearish month, so it shifted lower, taking out this short-term swing low over here. Okay, once it does that, and after it has purged the buy side, of course, once it does that, look for a fair value gap, and then look for targets. Your target should always be on the left. Okay, so what do we have on the left? We do have this relative equal lows, and we do have this relative equal lows as well. Okay, from the previous quarter. Okay, that's the important part, from the previous quarter. Okay, so moving on to the next quarter here, after it took out those lows, it created similarly relative equal lows down here before moving into the next quarter. So for the next quarter, was there any purge? Yes, there was a purge over here. And then is there any breakdown? Yes, short-term swing low broke down, right? 50%, where is it? This order block right here. Okay, and we do have this fair value gap, but however this fair value gap and this order block did not get tapped, but it's okay, because what do we have after which? This fair value gap, this large fair value gap over here. Okay, and as you can see, it's act as resistance, and then after that punching through this relative equal lows, and then eventually into a higher time frame targets below. All right, so I'm looking for this move, right? And as you can see, it took out the previous quarter's targets. So these targets are usually very huge in points, so you don't have to play a lot of size for this kind of move to earn a lot. Okay, so moving on from this quarter, we do have this swing highs over here. Okay, so usually in May, June marks the local bottom of the year, of the quarter, local bottom, right? Moving on to the next quarter, is it a local bottom? I'm not too sure about a short-term bottom. Okay, moving on to the next quarter, you can see that what are we looking for? Some consolidation, and during consolidations, both sides of the markets gets purged. So you want to see where the price is moving. So from here, this point onwards, right, purge of the sell side, move up, and then we have a fair value gap, right? Moving up, where we're going to clear this relative equal highs, and maybe even this relative equal highs as well. So that's what the price did, and after that, where did it go through? It dumped again. And usually in seasonal tendencies, the market yearly lows are formed in October, right? So here we have October, right? October formed the low. So in that case, expect, since it's a consolidation, it took out the buy side, expect it to take out the sell side as well. So when it breaks down over here, same thing, you look for reference points to enter your positions, and then play towards the liquidities, and after which, there we go, and we hit the high time frame targets as well over here, and then we found the yearly bottom, and from there we're entering into the final quarter of the year. And what do we have on the left side? Right, lots of imbalances, and of course this swing high as well. Okay, but ultimately this area was the initial and the easiest target to get. Okay, the lowest hanging fruit, as ICT would have said. Okay, took out the swing low, move up, and then what do we have here? Short-term swing high taken out. Do we have a fair value gap? Yes. Coupled with an order block? Yes. And then price did overextended a little bit, but eventually it did went up, and then after that you get a second entry over here at a proportion order block, and moving up to your lowest hanging fruit objective over here. Okay, so this was the playbook for this quarter. So therefore, for the next quarter, I'm looking at same thing, Okay, if this was the liquidity, I'm looking for these liquidities to be swept. Okay, phantom trend, retail trend line. Okay, retail support, phantom trend line over here, and then we do have swing highs taken out. Okay, buy side taken out, and we break down, right, and we created this huge fair value gap. Coupled with this order block right here, I'm expecting price to see some sensitivity areas, sensitivity reaction over here, this level here, and from there I'm looking to short in January. That is my plan. That's why I outlined and I planned what I said what I did previously. Okay, so I think that's all for now. Well, it's been 20 minutes, so I think that's all for now. If there are any updates, I'll let you know again, but I'm thinking this could be the local top for this range, and we probably move down, because the thing is that we do have SMT divergence, right, on the 16, this is 16 or 15, right? Anyways, this swing high here. Dow Jones made a high, while Nasdaq and ES made a lower high with reference to this high over here on a weekly time frame. Okay, the weekly time frame, as you can see, lower highs, right? The Q3 high, and as you can see over here, weekly 15 August Q3 high, lower highs on Nasdaq and ES, higher highs on Dow Jones. Okay, Dow Jones has relative equal lows over here, which could be next quarter's target, and if Dow Jones breaks, which is more bearish than Dow Jones, of course we do have Nasdaq and ES, and therefore they are gonna move with a larger range than Dow Jones. That's what I'm expecting. Okay, and yep, that summarizes everything. I mean, not summarize, but I think that concludes what I'm planning to share today, and that's all.